Movies and Martinis celebrates women and diversity in the entertainment world
by ranking trending movies, shows, and books
with two completely different perspectives and ranked by delicious martinis.
Listen to find out how many martinis we felt it was worth.
And learn about the women who have written, performed, and/or directed in everything we have rated.
A new episode is available every Thursday on your favorite podcast platform and YouTube. What's up, everyone? Welcome to our podcast. I'm Priya.
And I'm Mercy. Hey, Priya, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing real good. How's everything over there in New York City?
I got my Tito's. What about you?
Oh, good. No, I'm hydrating today. I've got to stay hydrated. So
I've been dying to get one of those mugs. They're all over TikTok.
Oh, my Stanley?
Their Stanley cup.
Oh, so you know that my Stanley has a little cloud that covers the straw.
Oh, how cute.
So this is because whenever I go to my manicure, there's always dust from like the nails for other people that do, I guess, acrylics and stuff. And they use like those little machines and there's like all this dust. So it's like a fine dust, but so I got a little cover, which actually I didn't get. Samantha got it for me. It's super cute. It's a little smiling cloud. Look at how cute that is.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. And Samantha gave it to me actually for Mother's Day. And she has the same one, but it's really big. Mine's a little bit smaller than hers. I didn't want it to wait, so I just wanted to hydrate. Hers is like a weight. Yeah, so I love it. I take it everywhere. I really love it. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'm dying to get one. I've been seeing them in Marshall's. 5 and Below has them, so I might just pop one over there. They're probably not
They're probably not the same brand, but it'll work. It'll work.
It'll work.
They're great. Yeah.
Work,
hell yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so today's show.
Talk to me.
Is The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, available on Prime and starring Sigourney Weaver.
Yes, and so before we go any further, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, it's one season, that's it, 7 shows. If you haven't watched it, you have to watch it, but pause us, go watch it, come back. If you're not interested in watching it but want to know what it's about, we're your girls and we have the tea on what the show is all about. So this show is it was on Prime, right? We watched it on Prime?
Yeah, on Prime. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Priya, you want to tell them what it's all about?
Sure. So it follows a young girl, Alice Hart, whose violent childhood casts a dark shadow over her adult life. And of course, that summary doesn't do this whole show justice. It's a lot of trauma. So, okay, so warning. There are a lot of triggers in here and the show. So if you are sensitive to any triggers, there's a lot of traumatic things, abuse, rape,
there's domestic violence.
Domestic
oh my God,
violence.
There's anything that can go wrong. It's there. There's fire, happens. There's murders, there's
mommy
everything.
Drama, all that stuff. Is it grandma drama?
Yeah.
It's all in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's good, guys. It is good. And it's quite a roller coaster.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I wanted to say the show should be considered a mini series versus a series because it has 7 shows, like 7 episodes.
Yeah.
And that is it. That completes the book that it's based on. So it's based on the novel by Australian author Holly Ringland.
Oh.
And they say the book is amazing. I was reading about the book. That's why I wanted to mention it. They say the book is amazing, and we readers know that a lot of times shows don't do books justice and vice versa.
Don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had never heard of the book. I must be under a cloud, under a rock, under a cloud, under a rock, because everybody talks about the book. It's supposed to be excellent. And I have regrets about the show.
Really?
Yes. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because it's such a powerful story and such a beautiful story. And I found the power of the story in the last episode.
Oh.
So the first episode caught my attention. I was hooked with the first one.
Yeah.
But I felt like between the second episode and the 6th episode, I was just kind of watching it to watch it. It could have been 100% me and not the show. but I had a hard time keeping up with it because it was going way too slow for my pace. When, she's standing by the water and she's staring at the trees and that just kind of goes on, I couldn't. I was like, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. And then she's just talking fast forward. By the time I got to the last one, I regretted not sitting in through the power of everything prior. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah. Because
so
there's so much detail.
There's so much I should have listened to, but I started losing interest because of the speed. I guess, I don't know. I mean,
well, I think what there are a couple things that happened there. So cinematically, it was like a poem. Like they filmed it in a way they wanted you to feel. They like pulled at your emotions. They wanted you to feel everything, even down to like the scenery. They were pulling at it. So that probably dragged on a little bit. I could see that, and also the viewers knew what was happening,
what to expect,
but the characters didn't. So the characters were coming into the information that we already suspected or already knew. So that's probably also a part of it. Like, oh, come on, just get to it. Just get to it. Oh, I know what's going to happen, because Alice Hart, she grows up in an abusive relationship with her father. Her father beats her and all this stuff. And then she ends up living with her grandmother, who she didn't know about before, because her father and her mother grew up on the same flower farm as that her grandmother owned. It's a flower farm owned by Sigourney Weaver. And but we know that the relationship that she's in, because she runs away from the farm, she ends up in a relationship with a park ranger, and there's all these signs that he's abusive.
Correct.
But she doesn't find that out until later on in the season. The whole time you're just like, oh, come on.
It's just building up to it, but it takes so long, and probably very realistic, because nothing in life is that quick, right? And a lot of times we don't even see what's happening to us. We're just watching it from a different view. But again, I just, I wish I had taken more time and dedicated more time to it, but I had a hard time with it. So the whole concept, the story is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The message behind it was so powerful. All these flowers had come to this flower farm to find a
safe place.
To find refuge and to heal and to hopefully re-blossom or I don't know, get a second chance. It was just like the grandmother had created this safe haven for all these women because she herself was a victim. And then to have your son be an abuser when you were a victim, right? Which I can see happening because he had a father that was abusive. It could have been within him. Well, clearly it was, right?
Well, that's how he was conceived. She was raped.
Correct. She was raped. Exactly. So, and then you see all these different victims and how beautiful each one is and how fragile, but how strong each one was, right? So it kind of reminded me of that movie, Steel Magnolias, where they're so gentle, but they're so strong and resilient. And they're just warriors in their own world. And how much we have, the message of how much we have within us and around us, and we don't even see it. Like Alice Hart was completely surrounded by the most beautiful, powerful women anybody could want around them, and she didn't see it. And how accepting everybody was of everybody else, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful written story. And it's not based on a true story. It was completely, it's a completely fictional. What a beautiful story.
So it's set in Australia, so that was beautiful in itself. But I think you hit it right on the nail with that word resilience, because I was trying to think of like all the female archetypes. If we're getting woo here, like all the female archetypes this show covered, and what women go through throughout their lifetime, and just everything that they go through. But resiliency is the biggest thing here. All these women, no matter what their story is, they're all resilient. They all make it through. No matter how painful their situation is, they all eventually make it through. And even the mom, Alice's mom, you know, how much she had to deal with an abusive husband, being
Yes.
pregnant with Alice's brother, that Alice doesn't
And
find
watching,
out.
yes,
Yeah.
and watching her daughter be abused,
Yes. Like
just like her.
and the strength it took her in the final moments to save her daughter. And I mean, she ends up dying, but like it was just
And
so
how
much
beautiful, how
Mhm.
beautiful the love of women that not only share that love for each other and they share each other's pain and they're there as healers for each other, but they also love each other's children, which is so beautiful. It's like every single one of them was a mother to everybody. And I think that the way that the story is wrapped up, where all these women come together, like all the lives that grandmother impacted, like all these women that were all flowers at one point or another, and they all come together and they all stand up for all the women who haven't had a voice, because those men are fathers, they're our bosses, they're our brothers, we're related to all these men. And then there comes the point of respect or fear, or like it just went on and on and on so many strong, valid points that we don't talk about and we're silenced as women. So it was very, very powerful show. I very highly recommend it. I would just say, you know, be patient and really, really watch it.
Don't skip through it. Don't skip through it.
Do not be a mercy. Don't
you can
speed
pause
through
it, take a break, come back, but don't skip through it. It's definitely worth the watch.
But don't speed through it. It was a beautiful, beautiful story.
Yeah, absolutely. So how many martinis would you give it?
You know, I would give the story 5 martinis, but I would not give the show. I would give the show maybe 3.5 martinis.
Oh, damn, that's a big contrast.
Yeah, that's what I would give the show. I was not thrilled with the show, but I was touched by the story. So if that makes any sense. So it might have been an incredible book that got butchered. I don't know. But
well, I think from a production standpoint, I enjoyed it. Like I sat and I watched the whole thing. I didn't speed through anything. I really took it in. And I felt like I got the most out of each episode. I didn't feel like, oh, there was stuff lingering. I didn't feel like, you know, like
so it must have been me, because you're pretty, because you get impatient if the show's not keeping up. So it could have just been my state of mind where I was. And
true. And plus you got a lot of stuff going on the last month or so.
And I was traveling while I was watching it and trying to focus on 20 other things going on. I was planning 4 parties while I was trying to watch that.
Dang.
And I was traveling. Yeah, there was a lot going on. So don't listen to me. Delete.
But you know, somebody might be feeling the way you do and might rush through it, you know, because this is not their jam. They might need something that's more fast paced. But again, this is like a poem. Like it was very poetic, like with the scenery, the world building, the character development. It was very poetic and all the storylines. So in that sense, if you enjoy that type of stuff, watch it. Sigourney Weaver was amazing, you know, in it. The woman that plays Alice Hart, her name is Alicia Carey. She was in Walking Dead, Fear of the Walking Dead. And there's some amazing, Aussie actors.
I think all the women were pretty wonderful.
Yeah, they were. I would give it probably a 4. I would give it a 4. Okay. It was really good. And I mean, I texted you after I watched the first 3 episodes. I was like, you have to watch this.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
So I really enjoyed it. So 4 martinis, you give it 3.5/5 martinis. Definitely a must watch.
Yes.
Check
Take your time when you watch it.
Yes, absolutely. Have that martini with it.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe that'll make it speed up.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening and watching on YouTube and on the podcast platforms. Make sure you like, share, follow, all that great stuff.
Yep. And let us know how you felt about it. If you watched it, if you decided you're not going to watch it, or what you think. We'd love to know. Bye, everybody. We'll see you the next time.
See ya.
Bye. Bye, Priya.